Yo, what is up, you guys? This is Godson and welcome back to Clash Royale. Check it out, you guys. I am here and I'm gonna do a raid with you for my level 3 account. And if you guys didn't know, I have not gemmed my account. This is a test build that they gave us, and I was not allowed to put any gems on this account, so I pushed my way up to where I was, and I got to 1,000 cups. Actually, it was 1,100, and I got to the arena with the P.E.K.K.A on it. I believe that's arena 6. But you guys, this is me going against a level 6 player. Now level 6 players definitely have a big advantage. Even people that are 2 levels higher than you, they get way more health on their towers and better troops. So you guys, I went up against this player. I went against 2 of these level 6 dudes, and I'm gonna show you some of the gameplay that I did. So if you notice my troop composition, I like to use witches, giants, princes, and the knights. I believe that's my bread and butter. I like to use those troop compositions. The rest of the troops that I have in my army, I kind of switch it out because it all depends on the amount of elixir that it costs, and sometimes actually going with the smaller troops that only cost 2 elixir is really good. Even the skeletons that only cost 1 elixir, you can use those as distraction troops. And there is a lot of tactics in this game, you guys. I think after this video, I might come out with a series for just pro tips. But basically, using combinations in the game is what helps you advance. For example, the wall breaker, or not the goblin barrel that he throws, you'd have to counter that with either arrows or the fireball that you have in the game. I actually like to use the fireball because it gives me damage on them as well as tower damage, and you just have to know when exactly to attack and when to spare your elixir. So you guys, this is the point in the match where when you have 60 seconds left, they give you 2 times the elixir, and so your skill really comes into play now. And this is actually a lot better for lower players if you're going against higher ones, because if you know more about the game or if you're better at deploying, then this is the advantage you will have, because you're able to counter this guy if he's not good at deploying when the elixir hits for ×2. And this, I kind of use this towards my advantage, and I'm really utilizing the giants and the witches. Just because, like, if you have the giant in front and he's taking all the damage, then the witches do splash damage, and they're just, you know, destroying any of his troops that are gathered together, like his goblins and stuff, and minions. And so you guys, I keep pushing. I'm going my way towards both towers while he's trying to get my king, and that is pretty much what does it for him. I would advise, if you guys look at the game, make sure you study it and don't force the king unless you know that you have the victory in your hand. So I did have a few mess ups, but not too bad. I was able to clutch this thing out and get the victory. Alright, you guys, so this is the round 2. This is the second player that I fought that was a level 6 when I was only level 3. And you guys, I'm going to give you some more knowledge of the gameplay that I did here. As you can see, we wait until our elixir fills all the way almost up to the top, and then you deploy, because if you do that, it's more of an advantage because you'll have more elixir if you do that. But the problem he did was he deployed right at the very tip of the radius where you can't deploy any further. He deployed right there where my tower was attacking him, so that gives me a little bit more of an advantage because I'm guarded by the tower while he's trying to get to me. And then I'm able to push harder with more troops. So that's kind of a thing that you'll see a lot of people doing. They will deploy behind the towers, and that allows us to build elixir while they're walking up to that line that you can't deploy any further from. You just call it the radius. But you guys, there's some more tips in this game. As I mentioned, I will be making a series just giving all the tips that I can think of to help you guys out if you're going to be playing this and you're starting a new series. So as you can see, he does take out one of my towers, and man, you guys, just having those barbarians, they're like little mini tanks, and of course they can be used as sort of a meat shield. The giant, the barbarians, and even the knight, I believe, can be considered like meat shields because they have a lot of health. But the problem that he did is he starts forcing his way in, and I had to come up with a strategy, because either you try and fight him, defend, or you can try and sneak a troop over to get his other tower and even it out. So that's what I try to do. But also it's just a bad idea to force your way to the king, because that's actually how I lost in the tournament. I thought I could go for the king right away, but he took advantage of that and went for my towers and got the second one down, because the towers in the front have lower health. They don't have as much as the king does. The king is able to have more health, he attacks, and he can have the other tower helping him. So you have to really be smart and decide which towers to go for, if you're gonna go for the king, or if it's better to just wait and go for both towers. So my reason for using the witches is because they can stockpile. And of course, if you don't know what that means, basically, as long as they don't die, they keep producing skeletons, and they do splash damage actually. And as you can see, the guy that I'm fighting against, he really forces his way to my towers, but because I have witches, they do such a good job at stockpiling. And I think that's a video I'm going to do eventually, guys. That's a pro tip, because I've found out in a lot of situations where they're about to win, they keep forcing my tower, the king, and I keep building up my army, and I keep adding witches to my team, and I can just flood them with tons of troops. But this was a really good gameplay. He forced his way, and that is what caused him to lose. Even though I'm a level 3, it was really cool because he had such a big advantage, but I have a little bit more game knowledge of the game. And now it went to overtime, so that means whoever gets the next tower is going to win. But little by little, he keeps deploying troops past over by my king, and they keep getting taken out. So now I just have a ton of troops that are built up, and anything he deploys will now get taken out. So he's going to have to go on the defensive. But he messes up and he throws a rocket instead of the arrows that probably could have did more area damage and taken out all of my troops, or at least most of them. But he throws his giant down to distract, and that pretty much seals his deal. I take that guy out, and then all of my troops just keep pushing. With 2 witches on the team, this is going to be really hard for him to do anything about it. And that gets me the victory, you guys. So I am in love with this game. It's such an awesome game. I hope you guys are playing it. Let me know what you think. This is Godson, and I will see you guys next time. Godson out.